Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first edition of Wonders of God. And Wonders of God. So I'd like to thank Pastor for this wonderful opportunity, the management of the church, our various church coordinators, and my very own church coordinator for this wonderful opportunity. I'd like to thank Pastor for giving us the privilege of bringing to you a cocktail of testimonies that are going to blow your mind, transform your thinking, and lead you to a supernatural turnaround. So I'd like to invite Abhishek Ma all the way from Church 2 to lead us in our session for today. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Sam. I'd like to thank our amazing man of God, Pastor Stephen, for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
So this is our first ever session of the Wonders of God. And this session is brought to you by our man of God, Pastor Stephen, the president of Higher Life Church Global. Yes, you can send your celebratory emojis in the chat. Yes, our man of God, the prophet of God for this generation. Yes, and then we are here to discuss with you the testimonies that have been happening on the altar of answered prayers.
Wow,
the mind-blowing things that God is doing in our day.
Celebrate.
Yes. Amazing. So the altar of answered prayers is a platform where we pray every day from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on YouTube. Yes. Wow. And then if you've not been joining, I don't know where you've been, no, because this is a global something. This is something that is all over the internet. Yes. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, but mainly on YouTube. That's where we stream. So every Monday to Wednesday, 9 p.m., you join us for the altar of answered prayers. And then we've been recording mind-blowing testimonies about the wonders of God. That's the title of this session. Testimonies about what God is doing in our generation. Testimonies about the manifest power of God. Because these things that are happening is not normal.
Wow.
Like, it is not ordinary at all. The kind of things that we see on the altar. It is not normal. It is not regular Christianity. It is the power of God at work. Wow. So this week we've recorded mind-blowing testimonies. Testimonies that will shake your feet. So we are here with our panel. So we'll start off this week with a testimony of how breast lamb disappeared. Wow. Yes. So the media team will play the video for us concerning that testimony.
Okay, so like naturally, I have a lamb, a sizable lamb in my left, my right breast, left breast, and it's not conscious in anything. It's just I've been to the hospital countless times and it is natural. There's nothing wrong with it. So during the prayers, when I joined this evening, I wasn't really like participating and all that, but I just decided to be serious with the prayers. And when we were praying, I felt like, no, I haven't experienced a miracle personally. So let me just try with this lamp and let me see if miracles to do really exist. So as we were praying, I just felt the thing shrinking, like it was shrinking. And then from nowhere, the man of God just said, "You are just discovering that the lump in the breast it has started shrinking. While the prayer is not going, it is shrinking. You have felt it. You just felt it. The lump is shrinking. And the sound of your amen, Rakapata, I announce the Holy Ghost has taken over." Any lamp is shrinking, as if he knew. I was marveled at that point, very surprised, like, hey, wow. So as the prayer was ongoing, it kept shrinking, and by the end of the section, I can't find the lamp anymore. Like there's no sign of it. It's gone. I'm so baffled, like so surprised.
I don't know what is happening to you, but there are times and there are certain days on your body, the whole of your body, it looks as though bees.
Oh my God. The wonders of God. Yes, 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 yes. You know, Abhishek, it always surprises me when we pray on this altar and we get to hear amazing things. Not that I'm surprised that, oh, God can't do it. I'm surprised because I'm so expectant for God to do it that when He does it, I'm like, oh boy, God did it again. Because for the lady, she's in Kumasi, first of all. I think she'd only been for the previous Kumasi service. Then they sent her the link. And I think she was a bit reluctant to join. But what shocks me was that she made up her mind that, okay, in this service, I've never had a testimony before. Let me just open up my heart and to receive. And in that same service, so not even like next 2 weeks or next 3 weeks, so in that same service.
Like the mind-blowing thing for me is how the person said, when the man of God spoke the word, that there's a lady on the call, there's a lamp in your breast, and it has started shrinking.
Yes.
And at that instant,
yes,
the thing has started shrinking.
Yes.
Like it wasn't that, oh, maybe he gave the word that, oh, maybe it will shrink, and then the person goes to sleep and wakes up, and then like it has shrunk. Said it has started shrinking, and the person confirmed that there and then the thing has started shrinking. Like that is the real manifestation of the power of God.
Yes.
It means where the lady was as far as Kumasi, the power of God could hit her, and then the lamp could start disappearing. Like it was shrinking. It was shrinking. Like, hey, this altar is serious. So this I've never seen it before. Like I've never heard such a thing in my life, that real life, like life, you can say that thing has started shrinking, and truly it's shrinking. It's like you have a growth, and then you say that, oh, the growth is disappearing, it has started disappearing, or it has started shrinking, and then it reduces in size right before your eyes. This is what happens on the altar of answered prayers. We they pray, it they show. We they pray, it they show. Like it's too real. It's too real. So Doc is here. I'm sure he has medical experience about what is happening. So you take us through what he thinks about the condition, and then if like this thing is normal, like is it normal that a man of God could declare that, oh, the power of God is taking charge, or the thing is shrinking, and then it starts shrinking without no medication, nothing at all. Doc, what do you think of this testimony?
Thank you, sweet ma. Thank you, Pastor T, for the opportunity. So as you said, it's impossible actually for you to just declare words and for the thing to shrink.
I like that.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen anywhere. And you see, I think the interesting thing is the fact that he was able to pick the specific condition. Because you see, when you come to the hospital, we are not prophets. We can't just tell you that, oh, this is wrong with you. Typically, when you come, you tell us, you give us some information, history. Then after that, we do examination, we do some tests, we do some labs, we do some scans. But here is the man of God in the comfort of his room somewhere.
The altar.
In the comfort of his room somewhere, seeing someone in Kumasi. And it's not like the person is even in a crowd. Seeing someone in Kumasi, and he said that there's someone here. The lamp in your breast is shrinking, and it started because you see, for that one, for the breast lamp, the treatment is mainly surgical, usually surgical, because That is if you are worried about it. You see, with the breast, when we say breast lumps, it's an umbrella term. It could be a number of things. It could be one, fibroadenoma. It could be fibroadenosis. It could be a breast cyst. It could be a breast abscess. But the commonest one in the young women of reproductive age is the fibroadenoma. That's what they call the breast mouse.
Yes.
The women on the stream, some of them can relate with me that the breast mouse. The reason why we call it breast mouse or fibroadenoma is that it's highly mobile. So one moment is in this part of your breast, the other moment it has moved. You can relate it. So that is why it's called breast mouse. But it's usually benign. When I say benign, it means it's harmless. It doesn't transform into cancer. Yeah. It's usually about 99% of the breast lumps are benign. But you also have the 1% that can transform into cancer. Yes, so for her, it's most likely it was a fibroadenoma. And for that one, there are certain conditions. There's a criteria for them to do surgery. Usually when it's growing rapidly, when you have a family history of breast cancer, obviously when you have a family history of breast cancer, you can't be playing with those things. So when you have a family history of breast cancer, you have to go to the hospital and let them remove it as soon as possible. And if it's also painful, if it's tender, and it's causing you discomfort, or maybe if it's distorting the architecture of your breast. I mean, I know people like your things to look good.
Yes, of course.
Yes, so there are a number of, there's a criteria by which they remove the lump surgically. But in Ghana, I think immediately reports, their first, for most of the situations, their mainstay treatment is to remove it for you. Yes, unless maybe because some Ghanaians are afraid of surgery. Yes. So unless maybe you are the one who is afraid of surgery, but typically they remove it for you. But then in the advanced countries, they have like scarless breast surgeries and things, vacuum assisted. But we are not there. We are not there. Ghana, we have to go and do the incision and things. So it's really amazing. It's really amazing because these things, they don't happen regularly. Because I mean, if you have a breast lump, I mean, have you tried speaking to it before for it to disappear?
Nah, if you speak to it, will it disappear?
Oh.
No, I'm not saying that. But you see, it brings our mind to the fact that our man of God has power. Like, because sometimes you can have an injury or something, then you yourself, you say, oh, let me use my feet. You speak to it. The major thing that can happen is that, oh, it will take time and it will heal. But then for the man of God to declare that there's a lump in breast and it is shrinking, and then the lady can attest to the fact that at that instant, the thing was shrinking. Like, it was like, oh, maybe let's give it time. There and then, the miracle was happening. Hey, there's something on the altar. Like, the altar is too powerful.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah. Most definitely. Did you also see the testimony about the lady who said, when she read the
testimony of this one, it has bettered another testimony.
Even before you jump there, let me thank you, Jesus. You see what shocks me about that testimony, Lakatosa. You see, if Pastor said that if you have breast lumps, join the call on this session, it's different. He's calling for a mass prayer like that. But this one, the man of God comes in with a spiritual diagnosis. He didn't need you to run scans. He came with a prophetic scan to locate the person. And while that person was being located, it was being worked on. I've never seen where they ran the scan and they already work on the person. And before you give the way, the person is already out of the surgery room, already healed. You see, the fact that instantaneously the word of God can work within split seconds and bring the healing, because even like Abhishek was, this thing could have taken, like, you go and sleep and you wake up, then it's gone. And it reminds me of what the state prophet said about a man of God, that this prophet carries power. Because to see it is one level of the prophetic. To decode that there was someone on the call, the person could have shouted, oh yes, it's me. And the thing will be there. And be like, oh, I went to this man of God, he said it's there. It could have been that. But he spoke words in that prayer, the thunderous prayer. Haish! And that thing melted. Doc, you were saying, it can move from here to here. So normally they check. They are checking, they are looking. Where is it? And it's not there.
Yeah.
Me, I was thinking about, how, like, human bodies can respond to sound there. But when I thought about it, what's can cause this thing to melt like this? Like, it's beyond just physical bodies resonating at the frequency of sound. This is beyond the science. So something inexplicable and went down in that prayer.
That is why it is the wonder of God.
Kaish.
Because these things, they are not
true.
normal.
It's true.
The things that we are talking about, they are not normal. That's why it's a testimony.
Yes.
It is a wonder. Because how can somebody be there, breast lump that we know that, these things, they are only removed surgically.
Yes.
And then the person didn't go to the hospital for it to be removed. Joins a prayer platform. The man of God declares there and then that there is someone on the call. There are lumps in your breast, and then it is shrinking. And then the person says it was shrinking. Like I could feel it shrink. Hey, like it is like you can't think about it.
Yes.
This is serious. This is serious. There is real power on the altar of answered prayers.
Real power. Yes,
and amazingly, this testimony also bettered another testimony. So this week we didn't just record one breast lump shrinking or disappearing. We recorded another mind-blowing testimony where the person just listened to the testimony of how the lady's breast started, the lump started shrinking. And then the lady too said, "Oh, me too, I have this Samu. So let me go and check my own." And then the person went to check and saw that her own too, just like that, gone. And it brings my mind back to the fact that the scripture says that in the mouth of two or more witnesses, a word is established. So this one is not just one, two testimonies, the same. That means the God on the altar of answered prayers here, any condition, some. So if you have such a condition and then you are sitting down, maybe by the grace of God, you chanced upon this. This is the time to connect to the session. Like, this is the time where you're supposed to take the prayer seriously. Because for two people to share the same testimony, I want to speak about this because there are some people, they feel like, maybe my case, maybe me to have this case, and then someone has shared the testimony, and then what about me? You are supposed to make up your mind that God, you are the same yesterday, today and tomorrow. Like, you don't change. So if you did it for one person, you can also do it for me. And then you connect to the altar with more seriousness, more intentionality that God, me too. You've done it for two people. They all said their breast lump have disappeared. God, me too. As I connect to the altar, my testimony awaits me. And then as you connect, I know that by the grace of God, you also receive and share that testimony.
Abhishek, man, let me come in. So you see the second lady who shared a testimony about her breast lump.
Yeah.
I personally interviewed her.
Wow.
Because I knew who the person was.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, let me go and verify.
Yes, evidence.
So I taught her how to do the breast exam. I told her that the thing is she sure it hasn't moved somewhere? She should check the breast well.
Yes.
She should check all the quadrants. She should check very well and let us see. Yeah, she should check everyone.
So you gave her how to go about it detailed.
I sent her videos now.
Oh, hey, wow,
that she
expert indeed.
Oh, no. I mean, no, you see, we just
want to be sure.
Yeah.
We don't want any fake testimony.
Yes. So I was like, she checked everything. She told me that the thing has, like, the size is negligible. And this is something that has been there with her since her senior high school days.
Wow.
And she's done with university now.
That's almost 4 or 5 years.
That's more than 4. That's more than 4 years.
Hey.
I don't know when exactly she noticed it in SHS, but more than 4 years.
5 years stuff.
4 years. And just by reading her testimony, she also got her healed.
Hey.
I think maybe you should tell the other ladies to key in.
Yes, so if you're a lady on the call and then you've not listened to that testimony, and then maybe you have a lump in your breast, now is your time, because God is really taking... God is in the business of making lumps disappear. So wherever you are, if you have lump in your breast and then you've not checked or you've not listened to that testimony, go back, go and listen to it, play the recording, believe it, and I know that you come back with your testimony. Amazing.
So in fact, I want us to watch a short excerpt, short video on how they should examine their breast.
Wow. So that
we can get this coming week, you can get 20 more breast lumps disappearing.
Wow. Exactly. Then this coming week, the altar, get ready, the ladies.
All right, media
it's your
team,
time.
Kindly help us with the video.
Okay, now to our self-breast examination. I said I was going to do a live demonstration for you to see. So like I said earlier, in our self-breast examination, we are doing two main things. The first one, we are doing an inspection. So you are standing in your mirror with your hands by your side, no clothes on, no underwear on, like we are seeing here, right? And you are looking at your breast in the mirror. Okay, so you are looking for any abnormal skin changes on your breast. Okay, so you are looking at your right breast, you are looking at your left breast. And then you see that here we have some examples of some of the skin changes that you may see during your self-breast examination. So you may see obvious lumps like in this one. You may see some bumps like we are seeing here. You may see another lump that is being shown there. Then when you look at the one over there, you see that the nipple areolar complex, which is supposed to look like this, it's looking entirely different. And so these are some of the things that you are looking for during your inspection process. If your breast is pendulous or if it is sagging, always remember to lift it up and look under to ensure that nothing is hidden under the skin, okay? Now, having done your inspection, you come to what we call your palpation. Your palpation is very important when you're trying to feel for Did you know that men can have breast cancer? Yes. In as much as breast cancer is commonly found in women, men can have breast cancer because men have breast tissue. In this video, we are going to be discussing self-breast examination, and I'm going to be answering 4 of the major questions that people usually ask about self-breast examination. So let's jump right into it. The very first question people usually ask is, when should I do a self-breast examination? The answer is, you have to do a self-breast examination at least once every month. Now, for women who are still menstruating, you can do it 3 to 5 days after your menstrual cycle. But for women who are postmenopausal women, you just pick a time in the month where you always do it. For instance, if you do it in the first week of this month, subsequently you have to do it in the first week of every other month. The second question that people usually ask is, what do I look for when I'm doing a self-breast examination? Now, during your self-breast examination, which we'll demonstrate later, you'd see that you do 2 main things. The first one is an inspection, where you are looking at the breast, you are looking for any abnormalities, you are looking for any skin changes. So if you see any rashes, any bumps, you see any reddening of the skin, you are looking at the nipples to see, are the nipples pointing out or are they pointing inwards, which we call inverted nipple. You are looking if there's any spontaneous nipple discharge. You are looking if there are any ulcers. You are looking if there are any dimpling. Dimpling is simply the skin drawing in like you have a dimple, okay? These are some of the things you are looking for on your inspection. And then you go on to the palpation bit, which is when you are touching. You are looking for any lumps, any bumps. You are looking for any areas of hardening, any hard knots, or any unusual abnormality that you feel in your breast. You are also feeling for any form of pain, which is not associated with your menstrual cycle. Now, jumping into the third question, people would ask, after I've done this self-breast examination, if I find anything abnormal, what do I do next? Simply, do not panic. You need to understand that majority of the things you see in a self-breast examination, even if they are unusual, are not pointing directly to breast cancer. Data shows that over 80% of the abnormalities you would see in your self-breast examination are not breast cancer, so don't panic. What do? Just get checked into a hospital, let a doctor check you out. They'll do a clinical breast examination. If they need to order some imaging like a mammogram or an ultrasound, so for people over 40, you would do a mammogram. For those under 40, a breast ultrasound. They will do that, and then if they find anything unusual, they treat it early, and you can go on with your life like it never happened before. Now, to our final question, people usually ask, is breast cancer preventable and is it treatable? Now, for the first part of the question, breast cancer is not entirely preventable because some of the risk factors are inevitable. For instance, if somebody has a genetic predisposition, it runs in their family, so they've inherited a particular gene, there is nothing we can do to change your genetic makeup. However, some lifestyle modifications can help to reduce your risk of developing breast cancer. Some are eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, maintaining a healthy weight, reducing your alcohol consumption, avoiding smoking, and also reducing a lot of the hormonal therapies that people indulge in. When you do these things, you reduce your risk of having breast cancer in life. And then is breast cancer treatable? Depending on the type of breast cancer that we are dealing with, and also the stage at which it is diagnosed, breast cancer can be treatable and even curable. If it is picked up early, you would see that we can actually treat the person, the cancer disappears. If it is surgery, we do surgery. If they need chemo and then radiation therapy, we do that, and they can move on with their lives like they never had breast cancer. Let's always remember that early detection saves lives. And so if you notice anything unusual, do well to have it checked. I am Iya the medic, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now to our self-breast examination. I said I was going to do a live demonstration for you to see. So like I said earlier, in our self-breast examination, we are doing two main things. The first one, we are doing an inspection. So you are standing in your mirror with your hands by your side, no clothes on, no underwear on, like we are seeing here, right? And you are looking at your breast in the mirror. Okay, so you are looking for any abnormal skin changes on your breast. Okay, so you are looking at your right breast, you are looking at your left breast. And then you see that here we have some examples of some of the skin changes that you may see during your self-breast examination. So you may see obvious lumps like in this one. You may see some bumps like we are seeing here. You may see another lump that is being shown there. Then when you look at the one over there, you see that the nipple areolar complex, which is supposed to look like this, it's looking entirely different. And so these are some of the things that you are looking for during your inspection process. If your breast is pendulous or if it is sagging, always remember to lift it up and look under to ensure that nothing is hidden under the skin, okay? Now, having done your inspection, you come to what we call your palpation. Your palpation is very important when you're trying to feel for any abnormalities. So what do? It is advisable to do the palpation while lying down, because when you lie down, the breast spreads evenly on your chest and it's easier to pick up any abnormalities. So first, if you are going to examine your left breast, for instance, you lie down flat, you use a pillow to support your left shoulder, then you put your left hand behind your head whilst lying down, and then you use your right hand to examine your left breast. So for instance, we are using this mannequin, so this is the left breast, so we use our right hand to examine the left breast, and use your left hand to examine your right breast. So in the examination process, what do? Some people prefer to divide the breast into 4 quadrants, okay, to make it easier for them to go around. So you can draw an imaginary line through your nipple from top to down, and another imaginary line from side to the middle, okay. So you have like 4 different parts. So you start from whichever quadrant you want, okay. So you can start, you are using the flat part of your palm, that's the part of your fingers, okay. You are not squeezing. So this is, for instance, a normal breast, okay. You are not squeezing, you are not pressing, you are just, going gently. So for this one, for instance, we start, okay. Then you go in a circular motion, okay. Make sure that all areas of your breast are felt, okay. Then don't forget the nipple areola complex, okay, which is in the middle. Now we always have to understand that our breast extends into our armpit. So when you are done with actual breast, remember to also feel for the part that goes all the way into your armpit, what we call the axillary tail of strength. It goes all the way into your armpit because some abnormalities can actually hide there. Now this breast, as you see here, looks normal, but during my palpation as I'm going, I felt that there is a lump. So your breast may look normal to you, but until you feel it, you may not know that there is something. So there is something here. Okay, so you see that there is a lump. Okay, but on inspection, you may not be able to pick it up until you feel. You will not be able to know that there is an abnormality. So you do it on both sides. You do it on the right side, you do it on the left side. So like I said, your right hand for your left breast, your left hand for your right breast. If you pick up any abnormalities, what again do we do? Check in with the hospital, ensure that it is checked out for you by a medical practitioner and it is handled very quickly so that you don't have any complications thereafter. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope that you've learned how to do yourself breast examination. You're going to do it in this month of October, which is Pink October, where we are increasing awareness creation about breast cancer. I am Iya the Medic, and I'll see you again in my next video.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Glory, glory, glory!
Glory.
Yes. As you can see, the wonders of God just doesn't bring you just testimonies, but information and insight. I mean, that was very wise of Doc to add it to our segment, because Abhishek, man, you know what's amazing there? One thing I realized about, I was telling Doc about the way Pastor Das is speaking is that it's all by the Spirit of God. So he adding Doc to this, and Doc having the idea to add this, it could be that we have people who have actually been healed of this, but this is the key. They need to go and find it. You see, I don't take anything for granted. That's one beauty I have about being, like Pastor gave me the opportunity. I know how to calculate every micro detail, and that can cause a mighty turnaround. So I know how, okay, maybe the breast examination, I'm a guy. The lady said that guys can get it. But I mean, that's guys, I don't understand what guys is. So once you said guys can get it, I don't know who guys are again.
Spirits. So
Yeah,
you can get it.
spirits, yeah. You understand? And this examination has come. Someone is probably watching it and probably started checking. And the person realized that, okay, wait. The thing, it was in the left. There's nothing in the right. It's like, where is it? No. Let me go and text my cell leader and tell my cell leader.
Yes.
Exactly.
And this is information. Like
Yes.
Maybe there are ladies out there, they don't even know how to go about breast examination.
Yes.
Information has come to you now. You know how to go about
Wow.
it. Yes.
But Abhishama, could it even be possible that some have the lumps and they don't even know? Could it be possible?
Well, I'm not a lady, so I don't know what they do.
That's why I started with Abhishek.
I think Abhishek will be the best.
Yeah.
I don't know if they touch their breast. I can't really tell.
See, it could be. Recently, I was talking to one lady and I was like, hey, this is testimony about breast lump disappearing. Have you checked yourself if maybe like you have something like that, or like is there a time where you are there and then on your own you check these things? It's just like, no, me, I don't even know about it.
Exactly.
Like I'm just there.
Yes.
So like nothing comes to the person's mind that let me lie down to like examine my breast on my own. So I'm sure there are people who maybe they could have, but then they've not because they've not really sat down to like, let me take this seriously and then check. Because the woman talked about how we are supposed to check every month and then to see. So if maybe like there could be people like that.
Yes.
So information has come.
I surely believe so, because the lady said that she had a lump for a while and she thought it was normal, meaning that we could have people that they don't even know it's called a breast lump. They probably think that it's one of those things. Doc, you know what's amazing? Because probably we're in the health field there, we are traumatized to how these things are. Okay, this is his name. This is this. It can lead to this. It can be benign, become cancerous. But some people are probably thinking that, It's just something that's in my breast because I think the lady, thank you, Jesus. The lady that had the galactoria, the one that pastor gave away that you got healed on the altar answer prayers. The milk was coming from your belly. Do you know what she said in the testimony video? Oh, me, I thought it was normal. Then it was coming, then it stopped. So I didn't really think much about it.
And
That's what she said.
They're part of the world we are.
Yes.
Like these things, I don't know, information is there, but then people don't take advantage of it. Like how
Exactly.
many people that maybe your parents sat you down, or even when you went to school, like
Yes.
you learned that, oh, as a lady, you have to do breast examination.
Exactly.
Very few people. And it's weird, like on your own, you are just there, you are touching your breast. Like
Yes.
it's a way. So people
Yeah.
don't really do that.
They
But
shy
these
away
things,
from it,
yeah.
yes.
But these things, they are important. They're important because you don't need someone else to come and check that, oh, maybe you have a lump. On
Yes.
your own, you can do it.
Wow.
And now, by Doc's wisdom,
There's no round of
the way to go about it. Amazing. So we can move on to our next testimony for the week. I think the testimony that we want to talk about is the member that received $5,000 grants and mentorship from Tony Elemedu's foundation.
Dollars. You know what's amazing about that testimony? When we mentioned it, and the people who are like me, they started to look for who's Tony Elumelu, and they were checking. Okay, when did he give this money? When the next time he's going to give this money? Like, people are busy.
You see, a money prophecy, a money testimony. People are really interested because a lot of people are interested in financial testimony.
Not just the testimony, they're interested in the financial turnaround, like the one that boom. The one that when it
like
drops
that,
in their
you
account,
receive
yes,
$5,000.
$5,000, 80,000 Ghana cedis.
Hey,
Crimson notes, fresh.
more than the president's payment. This is serious.
80,000
This
Ghana
is
cedis.
serious. So this testimony was recorded by one of our members in the Kolebu Church.
Yes.
And then upon reading the testimony, she said, Pastor declared a word in the service that there is someone you're going to receive a financial breakthrough.
Yes.
And then she believed it, and then she was like, amen. At that time, she had applied for the scholarship and then the grants.
Yes.
And she said something that over, let me be
You
sure.
know, even before that, the track record of the testimony is that I think in 2022 or 2023, Pastor gave away that I see you receiving an amount of money in some time coming. Ooh. So it's like she already wrote it down and was following the prophecy like this. So in her heart, then she was waiting for that day their money would drop.
That's a highly spiritual lady.
Yes.
Because some people, they give them prophecy and then they forget about it.
It's crazy. And I believe that that's even by the Spirit of God, because it really takes the Spirit of God for some attitudes to be seen in people, that a prophecy comes and you take it seriously and you don't let it go.
Yes.
Because I don't want to enter into scripture, but people receive the word and they let it go. But you see, I was sharing something like that to my cell member. But the point here is that for you to take the word and I don't want to say lambano it, yes, because it's not Greek time. But basically, you are running with that weight and you kept it in your heart. It's a very rare phenomenon because a lot of people can easily forget it. And I can make mention about this where people went to see when the state prophet came and he gave them directions to do. People walked out and they forgot.
Hey.
The moment they stepped out, they forgot the directions. You see, this has actually happened before because I think Pastor even informed us that when we are going, we should record it. I don't know if you were there one time. But we should, because it can happen that in the excitement of everything and you forget. Those things happen. So the person documented it. Then as it was nearing towards the time to happen, this year, when Pastor went to Kolebu Church, he said, in this row, I see someone receiving a huge sum of money. Hey. And she received it.
And the amazing part is she said the people that apply for the scholarship, it was 200,000.
Over 200,000.
200,000. And then only 3,000 people were going to be shortlisted out of 200,000 people. If you do the calculation, that's approximately 1.5%.
1.5%. Doc, talk to us. I know you are very well accustomed with
1.5%.
With like scholarship like rundowns and
what is the likelihood that a member of the altar was going to be selected?
Yes.
It is serious. Doc, what do you think?
Talk to us, Doc.
The probability is like possibly 0.1 or 0.2 or even 0, because 1.5% is small. It's just like
very small.
It's just like they say that maybe you're applying to enter medical school, and they say only 1.5% of the people in Ghana will enter. Like the 1.5%, it's a huge testament to the power of God. And what fascinates me is the fact that I think we are learning one key trait from her, resilience.
Yes.
I think when she was sharing when Pastor was sharing the testimony, he mentioned something like, the lady said, Pastor, I believe everything you've told me.
Hey.
Like that's how confident she is
In the prophet of God and
Yes.
his ways.
Because I mean, if Pastor gave her a word in 2023 and she kept it in her heart till 2025, I mean, how many of us can do that? Because I'm sure you'll be like, this man
This
of God,
wedding, is it going to come to pass? 2023.
Jamal, the night in the car. Was like, I mean, so if you're analytical, like you, maybe you be like, nah, Charlie, this thing, yeah.
Yes.
I believe that maybe for people who are not really members or people who have not really been with pastor, because if you've been with pastor too, you can't say that the man of God is lying because he has a track record of the things that he says coming to pass. But the lady is really resilient too.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
2 years, pa.
2 years.
And I'm
she
sure,
held on.
I'm sure maybe if you go into details, she was praying about the foundation
prophecy and
thing.
the-
She was constantly praying
Praying
about
about
it
it.
because I know I had another member also applied for the same thing.
Oh yes. My very own, but I don't want to talk about that. Because yes, he also applied.
Why
yes.
he's in pain?
Oh, he's not in pain though. He just really saw how that someone with a prophecy can beat you with all your efforts. Someone with the spoken word of God backing them will forget your efforts.
Yeah, because if you think about it deeply, wow, what's
So
exceptional
special
about her
about it?
business
Yes.
model? Like, I wonder what she wrote.
That they
Oh,
saw
I
and
don't even know if it's better AI that wrote it for her.
Exactly. you know what's even with the way they do the short listing, I heard that when it gets to a large number like that, people don't actually read it. They actually run it through like AI,
Yes.
and then they'll shortlist the AI. Because you can't tell me I'm going to read 200,000 applications.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
Abba.
So it's like there are keywords they are looking for. So how did she know the keywords
the
they'll be
exact
looking
ones
for?
to use.
Even if you knew the keywords and you like, the point is that to get selected, and I've seen that it's beyond just you being a good candidate too. Because there are things that I've seen that you can be equally good for it. You can be the top spec, but they actually don't go for that person.
You
They'll
have
go for
to have the backing of
Some-
the spirit.
exactly.
Like there has to be
That's-
something backing
That's
you.
very true. That brings me to, that brings back a memory. Before I entered medical school,
talk to us.
my dad went to, I think they were supposed to take something at 37 or so, and he went to
Okay.
take it. And the man he met there told him that if it is the will of God, I'll enter. He was like, I don't know what my dad went to tell him, but
Yeah.
he told my dad that, he shouldn't stress.
Okay.
Now the thing, if it's the will of God, like your son will definitely.
Yes.
I mean, we do exams.
Yes,
do
yes.
interview and all
Yes,
those
yes.
things.
We did the same.
After you get your 80s, now they want to screen you off again.
Exactly, yeah.
And he just told him that, if God wants me to be there, I'll be there. And truly, I got to, because the interview. Well, hold on.
He's a doctor. No, you gotta understand. He's a doctor
No,
now. Yeah.
because the interview, Charlie, it really lashed me.
There was something else there.
I promise. I couldn't even answer one question. I couldn't even answer one question, but true, I got it.
Wow.
So it just shows that
Yeah.
the thing, if
God can break systems for you.
if it's the will of God for you to enter, like if there's a prophecy backing, because already there was a prophecy backing me.
Kai!
No, 'cause me, I didn't want to be a doctor. All I'm interested in is money. So
I did not know that Doc was like me. I knew that we were related though. I didn't know it was a money relation.
yeah,
I didn't know. He's my cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all I wanted was the money, but you know your Ghanaian mothers.
Yes.
You know your Ghanaian mothers. you can-
Either medicine, engineering, or what's the other one? A lawyer. Yes.
So truly, if like a prophecy is backing you, it puts you as an
Different.
advantage. Yeah, it's different. Like no matter what happens, and no matter how long it takes, definitely it will happen.
Amazing. Pastor is a prophet of God. Though.
What's on your mind?
The feedback from the
From
the
the
feedback
comments.
from the. Let's continue. Hello, Sir Jeffrey.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
Pastor is really a prophet of God. Though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure by now the girl is really rejoicing at her testimony. Because, hey, just like that, he was able to release $5,000
Yes,
for the
you know,
girl.
Abishag, this thing reminds me of the word Pastor gives about global relevance. You see, and Pastor was giving global relevance.
Mantle of the preferred.
Mantle of the preferred. All of these
Wherever
things.
your applications are, you'll be preferred over anybody.
You know,
Like,
there's this testimony that I'm waiting for the people to come and share. You guys, if you're on the call, you know what I'm talking about. That they receive permanent residency in the US. They applied. You know, Trump is in office.
yes.
And there's a lot of bouncing people that is going on right now. And there are some people in church that receive permanent residency. Not that they just
In the
receive the
US.
visa. Yes, in the US. Recently, I'm waiting for them to come on talk show. You guys,
Hey, they should come
I'll
and
see you
share
soon.
because
It is
not normal.
As what-
Permanent residency.
So what are they waiting for?
I'm waiting when I catch them face to face. You see some testimonies here. They've shared it on some site, but it has not come out officially.
Yes,
So
because
because it's
I've
not
not
official,
heard
you
it.
can't hold them to it. But me, I'm coming for them. They know. They know. And the lady, I think you guys, the lady, Jesus. Pastor mentioned this in the Legon church service last week Sunday, that there's this lady that her father lost her mind. They had to chain and bind him in the church. So the father was in the church and they were praying over him. And listen to this. Listen. And they were praying over the man. So you see those churches that is like there's this prayer motokoro
tower.
that is there. Prayer motokoro. Me, I think there, Charlie. Unless you know me, there's a prayer motokoro there. That is praying over the person. That is like the person is
It's
praying
highly spiritual.
morning, afternoon, evening. Charlie, you see those kind of prayers, but those ones too, we thank God, they do things, but it hasn't really changed the situation yet. And the person was there for 1 week, and the person came to tell pastor, and pastor gave
Nice.
his mantle. Doc, listen to this. Pastor gave his mantle that put it on your father's head.
This man.
When the lady was going there to put on her father's head, the father started reacting.
Because he has seen the power coming.
Exactly.
Really?
It's like the man of Gadara. Get it? When the devils were in him,
My God,
he was
my God.
he was moving and doing
Was
things. He was
moving.
cutting himself. You see, but when he saw the face towel coming in, he was reacting. So they couldn't put it on him. So Doc, imagine what they had to do next. You talk to me. I want to see in your mind there. What do you think they did next?
I know what they did.
I know what you did, but don't mention. No spoilers. You, Doc, mention.
So right now the mantle has gone to him, right?
Yeah, no, the mantle has not got to him yet too.
Okay.
The girl has it. She can't put it on him because of the way he's acting. He's just
moving
reacting
about
like
and-
he's acting the waist. There's no possible way you can put it on his head. You even tear it or chew it. So talk to us. How do you think they got the mantle to him? Just imagine. Let's try and imagine. How do you think they got the mantle to him?
Maybe they got some. I mean, he was already bound, right?
He was more, but still.
But still, nah.
Inner strength, you can't hold it down. If you bind the person, see, Samson brought down a whole building.
Well, that's
Yes,
yeah,
the,
that's true,
there's
that's
strength
true,
in the man. Even if you bind him, he says he wants to break out. Something will kill. Yeah. So talk to us. How do you think he came? How do you think they got the mantle to him?
If he was in the hospital, they'll sedate him. But
Exactly.
Right now, you're not in the hospital.
He's not in the hospital, and even before you put him under sedation, the person is too crazy to go under sedation. How would you now even put the
You
needle in him?
You get
Strong
strong
man.
men to
Dog,
come and put him down.
it's a good point, but the person used another way. The person thought to myself, okay, if I can't get the face
So,
down
the
on
person
pastor's
threw
head,
it or
Dog. You are thinking in a yes, yeah, but even more amazingly, the person
Highly
said,
spiritual.
"Let me write down my father's name.
Hey.
Put the face towel on it."
Hey.
The father, the thing checked out.
Are you-
The madness
Just like
checked
that.
out.
For
Just
real?
like that.
Hey.
She came back the next day to come and meet that her father was walking with her mother out of the
Yes. And
the
came
same
to
person
house.
that you couldn't even put the face towel on it. The person walked out like that.
Wait.
Side by side, pari passu.
She wrote the name on a paper
Yes.
and put the.
And put the face towel on
Down
it.
Hey.
Hey, pa. Hey. Hey.
Like, this is mind blowing.
Hey.
Like,
I
hey.
think at this point we finish mind
You
blowing.
know,
We need to find more vocabulary.
It's not ordinary because this same mantle has done a lot.
Oh.
It was the same mantle that was placed on Benedict's father.
Yes.
And the person,
Brought
the
back-
man
brought- yes.
woke up. From there to
Yes.
was raised. This same mantle, when it reached Queen's sister,
Kaish.
someone that was going out of her mind,
Cerebral malaria. The person had lost their
malaria.
mind.
just like that. The lady came back to normal to the extent that the person that she was sharing the room with, the woman was like, "Hey, sister, come and pray for
Come
me."
and pray for me. There's
Because
something.
There's something.
There's something.
There's something.
You see, Doc is so shocked though. He can't believe it. It has yeah.
The
It's shocking
testimony,
you.
you are surprised.
They wrote it on a piece of paper. Oh.
I'm shocked.
Like Kojo, whatever. Or
And then
Mr.
that-
Fifi.
Do you know Pastor has given me about
I know. I'm
And
waiting for.
it's lying in my room.
I'm waiting.
So I take it in my car.
Oh.
I have to, I
Doc,
have to utilize
Doc,
it.
you are playing with the mantle.
If
I
you
don't
have
have.
pastor's
I have a mantle from
yeah.
Pastor. When I hold that mantle, I'm conscious. I'm waiting for some crazy things to happen. If I see you die, come. If you want to die, just
even me,
I have a mantle
I
from
remember
Pastor.
gave me a mantle.
Is it still there?
And then it's there, of
Eh-heh.
course.
Eh.
How can I lose it?
Hey.
And then actually he was asking me about my project work and stuff. So I told him that, Pastor, this and this and this. And she was like, okay. So if you have a presentation, just pray with the mantle and go. Hey, recently we had a presentation. And before I went, I prayed with the mantle. I was like, God.
How do you pray with the mantle? Should be.
You want steps and procedures.
Charlie, give us the
Stop,
steps.
I
you
put
pray
it on
with
my
the man- you
head
can put
and
it on
on
your
my
head.
face. And I prayed.
Pastor said you should
Because
pray
Pastor
and
said-
put on your head. I remember that they give it to you. Because when he flew it, I almost caught it. But something said, Femi, calm down.
Femi.
Oh, honestly, because I was standing with Doc that day. I remember. And Pastor said, Doc, catch.
Yeah, we were sitting at the
Yes.
same place.
And they passed in front of me like this. I could see all the things I wanted in my life coming to pass when I held that mantle. But I said, no, wait, I have one. Let me relax.
Relax.
Maybe Doc needs
Don't
to get
be
this first.
selfish.
Maybe there's probably a patient that's coming that Doc needs to walk into a room and say, you know what?
Then the
He'll put the
and this
stethoscope
man,
aside.
You should be working miracles in your hospital.
Relax,
Yeah.
relax. The purpose of the mantle was to catch something from
No,
back.
but Doc, why do you think you're catching it? You see, we don't want to be prophetic here, but that is why we've been called. It's something prophetic to come out. Maybe you have to put down that stethoscope. Then you hold that mantle there.
Kai,
You say, hey, you with
you
the cancer
demon
out.
of darkness.
Oh no, you know, because for me, the next level of testimonies I'm looking out for is a replication of the grace of God of a man of God.
Oh, fear
That
not.
is what. Oh, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all, Doc. I already know. You see, anybody, I know Pastor gives the opportunity to be on a talk show. As you announce these works, there's a residue of the grace that is deposited in your life. So I know that Bishak man, shall the grace overflow people. Just watch out.
Ah.
But Sir Femi,
Yes.
it's like we are playing out Bible days in our day.
Oh
You
yes.
see, when the Bible said what handkerchiefs and,
And
aprons
aprons were
were
taken.
taken from Peter
Mm.
to heal the sick,
Yes.
to heal the sick, and we are seeing the same thing in
The
our day.
same thing.
Like
And
we are seeing it live,
live.
Like the madness test, it has really overwhelmed me.
And you know,
I can't
Doc,
believe it.
I remember when I joined church in 2021. And so in our
I
2022.
remember Pa when she joined. I was standing
Oh,
there. Then
oh.
Either you continue that.
2022, prayer force. Pastor used to have a prayer force, and I remember exactly how Sarah now come give Pastor a prophecy that Pastor will be replicating things that are happening in the Bible, like the Bible day testimonies that we saw and we thought that it was great. Pastor will be replicating it, and at that time when he dropped the prophecy on the page, in my mind I was like, "Eee, this." I can say, hey, so now come is really bold. Like, how can you give such a prophecy? Like, how can you give such a prophecy? Like it was like, Pastor will be the next Jesus of our day. And I'm like, hey. It's not like I didn't believe it, but then I was like, wow. Like, how did he see it? And how can you give? And look, in a few years, like, see the mighty miracles that are happening. This is more than Bible days, so because if it is the things that happen in Bible days, if it is the dead, Pastor has read the dead more than once. What madness? This is not the first madness testimony that we've
The
heard.
dead, can you people go into details? I don't think I was around.
You were not wrong.
Could get to my keyboardist next week. Me and you, we are here.
Keyboard
we are
is
here.
strings.
We need some strings. You see, for the dead testimony, let me share it with you as it is. So, the lady walks into the room, gets to meet her father. The father is unconscious and not breathing. His heart is not beating.
So that's cardiac arrest. Okay, let's go.
You want to get the let me give it to you like this. So, this is the case where they found a man like this. Right now, problem has come. The guy, everything is shut down. So they have to take him to the hospital. When they take him to the hospital and they put the oxygen on him, they try and revive him. I'm sure they probably do the heart shock. I don't know what's the technical name.
So like they started with the CPR.
They started with CPR. Basically,
defibrillation
they started with everything that was trying to bring the person back to life. They started with everything. And then it had reached critical where they were now going to write the time of death. That's the time. That's where it has reached.
So like they did their examination.
Yes, they did the examination.
They declared him
And-
clinically dead.
Yes, and there were schools. I mean, there were schools. You see how you have ward rounds, and like maybe there's like a host of like doctors and like everybody walking, and they walked in, and they've all like everybody's bringing their mind about it. Okay, opinion. Okay, do you concur? What is this? nothing is working. No, the person is gone. You get it. But prior to that, she I think she was coming with a mantle from pastor. I'm trying to remember the lineup. She was coming with a mantle from pastor, yes. And this man who had oxygen on him, who all the team of doctors, they have seen that no, this thing has. So it's like they'll tell you that you should exit the ward, because it's like at this point it has reached where they have to declare him dead. And right at that time, this lady comes in at that last minute where everybody knows that this person is technically dead, clinically dead. She walks in, she puts the thing on him, he breathes. That is how it happened.
Charlie,
That's the death one. Yes.
Just like that.
That's the first one. So, with the way it happened, it was just left with they actually writing that time of death, maybe 8:06 p.m. Yes.
You know inside.
That's what I'm telling you. The second one too, what happened was that there was this lady that had her nephew. They went to the house. He was playing about. Then they just got to the back of the house. They saw he was there. He was not breathing. He was unconscious. So it's like, what's happening? Maybe he's joking. Maybe he fell sick. They are trying to revive him, resuscitate him, smelling salts, shake him, beat him. Nothing is happening. And the person is not breathing. No. You get it? This is one not breathing. His heart is not beating. No. So you see, because the person, you see, I'm sure probably they wanted the person to be in the fridge, and they'll bring the person out, and they'll say, okay, maybe, and the person is dead. But this young man, who's, I think he was about 6, he's less than 12 years. He was not breathing. He was just there unconscious. Not even unconscious. Heart was not beating. But if you say death, then people are like, hey, Stephen, are you sure he was dead? Go and check the person's child. So right now, they are rushing the person to a hospital because they are praying in the car 30 minutes. I feel like they wasted time. Because when they saw him like that, instead of them to rush quickly, they said that, let's gather around and pray. So they pray. Oh, could you come back? Could you come back? You will not die. You will not die. They are praying, so they don't have faith. They are crying. Oh, Kojo, let me do it for us. God, do it for. They are crying. They are you expressing faith, countering the faith, destroying faith, everything they could do, all in one. So by the time they realize that the way the thing is going and nothing's really happening, they put him in the car. Over 30 minutes they are spent there where he was not breathing and he was like that. So they now put him in the car and they are going there, and she remembers, hey, I have a Pastor Stephen, let me call myself leader. You understand? So she knows that she can't reach Pastor directly, because Charlie, that time reaching Pastor directly was not happening. So she calls a cell leader at that time, Segabi. Segabi tries to reach Pastor. Pastor gives Segabi some directions to do. You get it? And it was that direction that he did it, because Pastor didn't even pray for the person directly. He just gives Segabi directions to do for the lady. And they did it. And child, before I knew it, back again. Ladies and gentlemen, wonders of God.
Wow.
Hey, like things are happening, things are happening in High Life Church.
Okay, I now understand why Pastor was asked to have this show. Yes. Because I feel like
you wouldn't you wouldn't know the depth of these things, and because unless maybe you give me time to express myself, and I break it down to you and I show you how some of the testimonies, maybe you thought it was this, but the depth it was the earth crust. It was not just this. You were thinking it was atmospheric. It's earth crust kind of deep.
No, because even 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes,
like 30 minutes.
Arrest,
yes,
the brain will be gone.
Exactly.
Like the person will be brain dead.
Yes.
And the person came back to
yes.
Like
you see
normal.
Like a vegetable.
Yes, and for Benedictus that day, when he came back, and they were shocked he didn't have any brain damage. Because there was no blood flow to the brain, no oxygen. Everything was dead. Even the cardiac cells would die. The brain cells would die. Because there was no blood flow in circulation. So when he came back, and they were shocked that he didn't have any how do you tell the brain? Neurological, yes. He didn't have any
neurological damage.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't have any neurological. I've said it a lot today.
Yeah.
He didn't have any neurological this thing. There was nothing wrong. And he said that he felt like he had received new life. Hey. The man himself, he told his daughter that I feel like I've received new life. He said he felt like he had received new life. My tree is not that good. That's how he felt. Like he was like a new child. That all his organs had become fresh. Because it's not that it's just by chance that it was her. Already there were strings of attack on her family members. Her mother already had an attack on her where she was going to be paralyzed and died. It was in the apartment, I think it was in the apartment that we prayed for her mother. And that one was averted. So her whole family, there were attacks on them. So this one that's a far side and they fell on the father. We knew that we were not just joking about this thing. We were saying that we are trying to encourage you that it was exciting. Or that, maybe Sephirah was not that serious. Hey! Somebody wanted to kill their mother. You don't know the prayers that pastor has to pray for her to attend that one. Wow. So we know, because the Hernandez own, pastor said that her soul has left the body. we're just left with a number of days for a mother to die. You see those things that the person's spirit is now crying here. We need to pray and send it. Because the mother was having severe, I think, breathing issues. So it was supposed to be like in one breathing episode, she would just pass out. So Pastor already foreseen it, and he canceled that one. Ask me how I still remember this. It's the Spirit of God. Because I have to sit here. Yeah.
Wow. You see, this reminds me of two prophecies. One prophecy Pastor Enes gave us at the men's all night. He said higher life is a place of safety. He was telling one member that he should join, and that higher life is a place of safety. And Dr. Ojaba came to confirm in our recent conference, saying that there's divine insurance in higher life. Wow. Charlie, me who dream you?
It's
like,
serious.
Oh, it's very serious. You know, if maybe I don't think we have that chance. By the prophetic, and we can play all the lives of people that have been lost, if not for Pastor this year, just this first quarter.
No, you know, sometimes I feel like when he says it, people cannot appreciate the gravity of what he's saying.
No, you will not appreciate them because God will not even give you the chance for it to look like it's coming to happen.
Because maybe we say that, oh, this was supposed to happen.
Yes.
For instance, Margaret Smith's prophecy
Yes.
about how her house was supposed to be. That was not small house. Though.
No, you know, Abishakma, and is that one is even close? And because she said that she could get premonitions about it. What about somebody like Michael and Abishakma, Efiama? They didn't have any feeling of that.
Nothing.
They didn't know that. Okay, maybe you know Michael today. I think maybe
like
we should use
something
overhead. I feel like there's something down there. It's not like they had a feeling, no. Because if they had a feeling there, that day would have stood out to them. It was like they just mentioned another day, like Sergio like this. He didn't know that Charlie he was going to be XL leader and going to be in a coffin. No, he didn't know. He did not know. He did not know. That's the thing. So it's not that God is giving the chance to even see his coming, then he will just rapture you, then say, oh, Pastor, and I almost died. And I also thank you for your prayers. As you are living right now, start thanking Pastor. Because tomorrow in the prayer service, if you see me on the talk show and I start rolling on the floor and you come and say to the family, do too much, me and you will fight. What do you mean? Do you know the lies? See, do you know what happened for me that shocked me? So sorry. Let me share his testimony here. There was a time that my mom was experiencing terms. No, I've spoken to my English. It's in the pain in the joints. What's it called again?
Is it like arthritis?
Yes. She started to experience an osteoarthritis. Let me tell you how severe it was. It was so severe that she was in bed and she was crying and she was in severe pain. And she was there crying, oh, Jesse, do something about it. Me too, I'll do my prayers. But Charlie, I didn't think it. The way I was going there, it's not me and you that are now coming. So I was like, oh, okay. When you started its development, it was hurting her. Then I was like, oh, I'll tell Pastor about it. When I told Pastor told me that, before that, let me just get the facts accurate. So the time it got serious, the day that she was crying, I remember I came to the apartment and I told Pastor, and Pastor was like, oh, don't worry, I even come to your house and pray for her. And it was like, he said specifically, oh, don't worry, I'll come to your house and pray for her. The one I heard was that don't worry. The lady, when I was leaving her and coming in, she was in bed, she was crying, she was like, oh, those things is really hurting me. Those things, my mother, she's a hard guy. She gave it to me, she didn't cry. She didn't even have labor. I'm sure she didn't have labor pains. That's why my mother is a different kind of hard guy. She didn't have labor pains. So it was. Were you there? No, I have evidence. Evidence is there. My head is big, but Charlie, no labor pains.
Hey, I was about to say that this your head and no labor pains.
I know. Because when she came out, my auntie told me so many jokes. I was like, hey, he didn't cry. I was like, hey. So the point is that she was there, and when I came to Pastor, said that, don't worry, I'll come and see her. So me, I'm thinking that Pastor will come some other time, Hey, that was Saturday evening like this, Sunday morning. I'm sleeping and waking up. I can smell jollof cooking and things. What happened now? This woman left the house before me. I called her. Oh, I'm feeling fine. I've cooked jollof. I'm taking it. I said, oh, what is going on here?
Food has come on.
Hey, see, the way that she'll be fine took me to go and meet her that she was fine. Like, I was so shocked. The pastor said, come, you come. He didn't even need to come again. I remember the Roman centurion. I didn't even know which faith I had at that point. So I can't say it's my faith. But all I know is that the man of God carries some crazy power.
Too much power.
If you miss this wonders of God, then what are you doing? You come in Sunday service when I'm charging the people who are here, then you'll be looking like tea bread. Meanwhile, you should be looking like hot butter bread. Yes.
Amazing. Like, this week's session has been so powerful. We've recorded mind-blowing testimonies where my amazing panel, they've dissected everything. Doc and FM. So Femi, I like your energy. Farm Femi. Yes.
Farm Femi.
He brought the
Pharmacist
energy.
Femi.
He brought the energy here. So if you are watching us and then you've not been joining the Altar of Answered Prayers, maybe this is your first time. Or even if it's not your first time, like if it's not your first time and you've not been joining there, I don't know what you are doing. Like, hey, are you serious? Look at the things that God is doing on the Altar of Answered Prayers. So the Altar of Answered Prayers is every Monday to Wednesday, 9 p.m. with our man of God, Pastor Stephen. So as members, as people on the altar, we are encouraged to share the link, to reach out to other people and then get them to connect. It's not because we are telling you to, like, for the numbers or like ensuring that other people connect. We are just trying to get to reach to other people who are going through pains, people who are going through certain troubles that needs God's intervention. I mean, some of you have gotten mind-blowing testimonies. This is the opportunity to also let other people to know that God is working and is working live with our man of God, Pastor Stephen. Yes. So I'll take last words from my panel as we come to the close of this session. So, Doc.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. So my last words. So this is a passionate appeal to the members. The vision we have for the wonders of God, if they don't, it's about the way they write out their testimonies. We want it to be very specific because you have, I mean, I'm not downplaying their testimonies. We are celebrating the testimonies, but sometimes someone will come and say, I was healed from excruciating abdominal pain. What exactly do you mean by that? Like, abdominal pain could be from so many things. Do you mean you were healed from peptic ulcer? Were you healed from degenerating uterine fibroids? Was it an ovarian cyst that was giving you problems? Was it acute appendicitis? Do you get it?
Yeah.
So we will need more. We will need
More
specifics.
clarity.
Yes, and I know higher life people don't like going to the hospital. we are not saying go and take medications or anything, no. But at least when the condition comes, especially if it's long-standing or chronic, just check in with the doctor, know the reports. Then after you know the reports, then after that we can terminate it on the altar.
On the altar.
Yes, because so you see that one, it makes it more beautiful.
Yeah,
because
there's evidence to like prove what you are seeing.
Let's say you come, you say you've gone to the hospital, they've diagnosed you of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So we have a before, and now you come and pray about it on the altar. The man of God mentions the keys. You go and check. Now it has been terminated. Like I don't know if you get, like, we can see the projection, progress.
It's not vague.
Exactly.
Yes.
But if you say you are having abdominal pain and it's gone, hooray! We bless God for your lives, but it's not too specific. If you say waist and thigh pain, what are you telling us? And you see, there was one gentleman who shared a testimony about his eye. He said he had an eye condition called anisometropia. Yes.
I saw that.
You see, that one, he was very specific.
Yes.
You see, that is what we want. You can come and tell us that, oh, I was short-sighted. And after Pastor said that we should place our hands on our eyes, I did that, and now I can see without the aid of my glasses. I was hyperopic. I had hyperopia or had astigmatism. Now I've gone back to the eye doctor. We've checked now. My visual fields are clear. My vision is 10/10. Like we want
be specific.
Yeah, we want them to be very specific, so that it makes the thing more. You see the breast lamp like this. I mean, breast lamp. Maybe I would have loved more details, but breast lamp is enough. No, breast lamp there is enough. Okay. But then with the other ones, maybe
more details,
you can,
more
as early as people can communicate to them that they should be more specific in their things. Amazing. We want to thank Pastor for the opportunity. We'll come back bigger and better the next time we meet.
Amazing. So, Femi, pharmacist/testimony coordinator, your last words, please.
What I like to say is that, you know what shocks me? That we had over 13 testimonies lined up, but we could only talk about 2 or 3 or about 4 or 5. And it's truly amazing because, you know, when you really spend time to delve into a testimony, you realize how God is really interested in what you have to say. That's the beauty of, like, taking time to dissect testimonies, because when you start in, like, people think I like talking. When I tell people I don't like talking, they really get shocked, though. People really get shocked. When I tell people, like, I'm not, it shocks people. When I ask people who knew me before, I don't like talking to people. I don't like public things. But when I start talking about testimonies, it's like something goes off in my brain. I can't be quiet too. The way the thing starts puzzling together in my mind is truly amazing. You get it. And for times like this, I would just like to thank Pastor so much for the opportunity to be here and to be on this talk show, to have this great opportunity to even say these things, to be able to talk about the testimonies like this. I mean, it's a rare privilege to sit here. It's not that I'm the testimony, this guy. That's not even about it. It's the fact that like I could be given this opportunity. This opportunity right here is great and amazing. I like to thank Pastor so much. Yes.
Amazing. So back to you next week, same time, with mind-blowing testimonies from the altar. We'd like to thank our man of God, Pastor Stephen, so much for this wonderful opportunity, and the entire management of High Life Church. Keep joining the altar of answered prayers, and God bless you.